One take. This is NBA One Take featuring yours truly. NBA One Take for your head. NBA One Take for your brain. Halloween morning, live from Brooklyn, New York. This is NBA One Take. Follow me on Twitter. You can subscribe on YouTube, as well as follow me on Snapchat and Instagram, IGTV. Everything Pretty Boy Laker. Verified account. Hopefully. But let's get into NBA action. No pun intended. The first game I gotta really talk about is it was a fight last night between Joel Embiid versus Karl Anthony Towns as the Timberwolves come in Philly to face the 76ers. Now I'm gonna go to the fight itself because this was something brewing. As you watched it, I'm watching every time. It looked like Embiid was just attacking Karl Anthony Towns on offense, and he was just getting in his face, really talking to him. You know, they do have some kind of a social media history going back and forth when Joel Embiid was calling out a lot of big men. Karl Anthony Towns was one of them. Now this was brewing, and in all the midst of it, they did get tangled up. Wasn't an all-out brawl, but you see, Embiid and him they wasn't like swinging, and Cat had him in the headlock. Ben Simmons came and he grabbed Towns and they went on the floor. Robert Covington had this look like he don't know who to help. He's a former 76er, and Joel Embiid is like his brother. They ain't know what to help. He's trying to break it up, and it looked like he wanted to help the Sixers a little bit. We'll leave that alone. I ain't trying to spoil and say anything, but you know, it's getting crazy. It was a crazy game, and it's a real crazy night. But the Sixers did get the win. They was already pouring it on Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris. They get the win. But after it was Twitter and Instagram, and everybody's weighing in on it. But even Joel Embiid referenced Jimmy Butler, talking about he's raised by lions, and he ain't no B word. And Cat said you is the B word, showing the meme of him crying. Yo, it was crazy. But there's gonna be some suspicions. We gotta see what the commissioner and everybody's gonna say about that. Next game, I gotta talk about Houston Rockets. James Harden versus Bradley Beal. I say that because the Wizards and the Rockets put up historic numbers, and it was James Harden had 59 points, hit all these shots, and it was just unbelievable. As well as Bradley Beal, he had 46. Bradley Beal went, shot 3 free throws, retired, and Harden, he went, got fouled late, hit 1 free throw, missed the other, and they get the win over the Wizards. Russell Westbrook gets a triple-double, only behind Oscar. Time will tell if he ever catches Oscar and passes him. I didn't think anybody would ever pass Magic in triple-doubles, but Russ did. Russ did. And really not much into the game. It wasn't just a lot of defense, it was a lot of scoring. I really want to focus more on that. I kind of was watching that, but I was watching some other stuff too. So the game I really was I talk about is the Phoenix Suns and Golden State Warriors. Now, the Suns has been impressive in the first couple of games, but let's say this is the ultimate test. People are on suicide watch, you know, and about the Warriors. I think, because I have a few people that became fans of the Warriors just despite LeBron. And, you know, when that happens, listen, people can be fans of teams despite the criticism or the way they feel about a certain player. And LeBron has done that. But now the last 5 years, they've seen him struggle. And right now, I'm talking about this because the Phoenix Suns was blowing them out. Draymond Green tweeted, "Put me in, coach," at Steve Kerr. I know we need help. They was getting blown out at halftime by the Suns. And I'm not saying the Suns is well coached. This is a different type of Suns team. My man Devin Booker's not playing. And he had 31, and it was easy. And Aaron Baines got the start, and he was playing well. This Suns team is good. Really good. Steph Curry broke his hand in a play going to the basket. I'm gonna tell you something. You got a broken hand. He may be out for a couple of months. You already know you already know what they're gonna say. You already know what they're going to say. They going straight to the lottery. Just like that. Just like that. A team that went 5 NBA Finals, won 3. Still got their core intact. I mean, due to injury. But they in the lottery just like that. I doubted D'Angelo Russell could keep them afloat. And I have to look into this because the next couple of weeks is going to be crucial. If they continue to slide and lose, what will be the timetable for Steph Curry? Will Steph Curry comes back to try to save the day? Will he come back to be Superman? To try to win? Because they lost last night. Even though they was rolling back, whatever, Suns wasn't playing hard. They was just do what a quarterback do, run the ball and don't lose the game. And that's what they did. But the thing with Steph Curry is going to be a big thing. This is huge. Like, I'm saying this is big because if he's out for 2 months, he's out for a month. What are you going to do as a franchise? Bob Myers, as a GM and president, what are you going to do and move it forward? Are you just going to play these guys? What are you going to do? Because there's a lot of questions that have to be answered. There's going to be questions that's going to be facing you in the organization. Because you guys hasn't faced this, you haven't seen anything like this since you took over as the GM. Joe Lacob, you haven't seen this possibly since you took over for the team and the fans booed you because you guys were coming in and they didn't know who you are, they didn't like you. There's a whole big thing. You can always look that up. And you guys was talking about changes and everything, and they was just really upset. The fans was. Even before Mark Jackson got there, because when Mark took over, even though his last 2 years they went to the playoffs, they still was competitive that first year with Monte Ellis and the guys. So this is uncharted territory. What's gonna happen? Because this injury is big. Because the thing is, I feel okay, the Warriors kept losing and they gonna win some games. And I said, oh, you know what? Curry could get hot for a week or 2 weeks. Get 2 consecutive player of the weeks. They could go 6-1, 7-1, and be in the thick of things in the West. Now they can't. D'Lo cannot do it. You can't do it with that set of guys. You can't ask Draymond Green to try to go out there and score. He will love to try to do it, but it's not going to be an efficient thing. This is big. This is huge. And I have to see where this is going to land at in the landscape of the NBA. Guys coming out the draft, man, you have to start doing your major scouting right now. You have to look at other teams right now, potentially having that lottery pick, possibly moving D'Angelo Russell to get another superstar, which I've said D'Angelo Russell and a potential top 5 pick and somewhat of a good point guard class, that's something for people to really think about and really look at. And teams with some disgruntled players will look at that. Notably Washington. Oh yeah, they're gonna stick with Bill. Man, listen. You give me D'Lo and the top 5 pick or whatever like that, I could flip that. I could flip D'Lo for another player and take one of those top 5 picks. They'd be straight. The Wizards, I'm saying. So we'll see. This is NBA One Take. It's Pretty Boy Laker, and I'm out.